Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
On the football front, we will be the deepest conference in America. Every week will matter. I'm going to say that one more time. We will be the deepest conference in America, and every week will matter. We have star power and parity. We boast some of the top players and coaches in the game. November will be incredibly exciting, and we will brand it as a race to the championship. Beyond football, the best conference in basketball got better.
Kansas State.
You have to embrace it. You have to adapt and adjust, and it's become really strong at K-State. We have a group with Wildcat NIL that has done a terrific job of raising some money and taking care of athletes. And then we've had some other private entities that have come up and stepped up and done some really good things as well. And you're right, you got to embrace it, and it's been very positive. And the fact that there's a lot of student athletes benefiting off it. It's not just football and men's basketball. There's a lot of other sports that are doing really well, and it's an important piece to the recruiting now. And you're right, this will be going on year 6 already at K-State, and once the pandemic ended and 21 seemed normal, and then 22 started to change, and then 23, it all flipped with NIL and the portal.
I think we're going to be really explosive. Obviously, we're going to be Kansas State, and we're going to be able to run the football. We have really talented running backs, and we're known for our talented offensive line. But definitely trying to bring some more explosive plays to the field, getting the ball in playmakers' hands, throwing the ball around the yard a little bit, but not getting away from our roots.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, July 10th, 2024. Today on the show, we'll talk to Mike Boddicker on the phone. He is out of town, and so he's going to call in for a segment at 6:30. Then we'll chat with our baseball insider Buster Olney, who is unavailable tomorrow, but he's available today. So he'll be with us at 7:05. We're going to talk to Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com at 8 o'clock because we are now under a week away from the beginning of training camp when quarterbacks and rookies report on July 16th. So we'll talk to Matt Derrick about that. And we'll also hear from Todd Lebo, live from Las Vegas at Big 12 Media Days. He'll be with us in the 9 o'clock hour. And also Nate Bucati is going to stop by at 8 o'clock and spend a couple of hours on the show with us later on. So we got all that and more between now and 10 o'clock. We've also got some comments from Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark, also K-State coach Chris Kleiman, and K-State quarterback Avery Johnson, and also Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy. Today will be a fun day at Big 12 Media Days because Deion Sanders will speak. the head coach at Colorado. He'll be the first coach up today, speaking with the media. And then we'll hear from Lance Leipold, the head coach of Kansas, along with several other coaches. But those are the two headliners because Deion Sanders is usually pretty good in front of a microphone. And Lance Leipold is getting ready to coach what looks to be a very exciting team at Kansas with a lot of expectations upon them. So we'll have Todd Lebo out in Las Vegas talking to those coaches and also several players, and we'll have that sound for you throughout the day and tomorrow right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We don't have any post-game sound from the Royals because that game was canceled. We talked about the rain that was expected to perhaps delay the start of the game, but it was the forecast was so bad they decided to just go ahead and postpone the game in the early afternoon. What time did they do that yesterday? It was quite early.
Yeah, it was early. I mean, I was probably about an hour or two behind seeing it. So I was texting with Scott Sharp, and he was like, "Hey, dummy."
Yeah.
Hey, dummy. They just moved it to a doubleheader, but I think early in the afternoon, maybe around 1 or 2, and that Hurricane Beryl storm is where the rain's coming from.
Beryl or Burl?
I say barrel, but I probably am way wrong.
I don't know. No, I think I've heard it both ways.
Beryl? Hurricane Beryl?
It's no longer a common name.
No. Well, maybe we need to bring it back.
Beryl?
Have a son named
Beryl? What?
I'd like to meet my son named Beryl.
So.
No, it's that rip through the Yucatan Peninsula in Houston, and that's where my family's actually from. My grandma's family. From a place called Merida on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico.
Go on.
That's
Finish the story.
that's it.
Okay.
Angela Rodriguez came to America at a very young age from Merida.
And now there's a doubleheader because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Because of Hurricane Beryl and its remnants ripping through St. Louis.
So today, as Jake mentioned, there will be a doubleheader between the Royals and the Cardinals. Man. So this is a big day, man, for the Royals. They get 2 cracks of the Cardinals after last night's postponement. So the way this is going to shake out today, game 1's going to be at 12:45 with Alec Marsh on the mound. He's going to go in game 1 against Palante from the Cardinals. Alec Marsh enters game 6-6 with a 4.57 ERA. They need a good start out of him, obviously. And so 12:45 is game 1. And then game 2 is scheduled for 6:45 with Michael Wacha and Sonny Gray. So a little bit of a different pitching matchups. I think it kind of helps the Royals out because it was going to be Michael Wacha and Palante last night. And so they were able to switch those to have the pitching matchup now Wacha against Sonny Gray and Marsh against Palante. So that evens out a little bit. So we'll see. Hopefully Marsh pitch well and then a good pitching matchup. Michael Wacha now has his ERA well under 4. It's 3.74. He's 5-6 with a 3.74. Sonny Gray 9-5 with a 3.30 ERA, and that'll be at 6:45. So game 1 with Marsh on the mound at 12:45. Game 2 with Wacha on the mound against his former team at 6:45. So we've man, it seems like a long time ago that the Royals put up 10 runs against Colorado. It was on Sunday, but I mean, back-to-back days with no baseball. A lot of days off for this baseball team right now. Monday off, Tuesday off, Thursday off. So they have three out of 4 days off this week before a huge series in Boston against the Red Sox. Then they get time off for the All-Star break. So the bullpen better be rested and good to go as they play a very important 2-game series, a battle of playoff contenders in St. Louis between the Royals and Cardinals, 12:45 and 6:45. Did you watch the soccer yesterday? Spain advances over France.
Yeah, wild
So we were
game.
right about that. And then Canada didn't
No, that
put
game
up
was kind of a sleeper.
much of a fight.
No, Argentina dominated them, but hey, good for Canada to make it the semis. But no North American team is left in the Copa America. As Uruguay takes on Colombia in the other semifinal today, and England and Netherlands today at 2. But
I feel like that's the must-watch, England.
oh, that game will be fascinating. I like the Netherlands. They're back four pretty strong, and they had a pretty young goalkeeper who had some big time saves in the last round to advance them to the semis. But yeah, England is a very polarizing squad. So
Why do I root for them?
I don't know.
Why do I like them? Why do I like their coach?
I like their coach.
Why do I like to
will
watch
say,
their fans celebrate?
I like Gareth Southgate.
He looks like a Bond villain to me,
He does.
a little bit.
Yes, he that's a good call. But I
Is
mean,
it?
I wish there were rumors of Manchester United firing Eric Ten Hag.
Where do you get these names from? You're making these names up.
No, Eric Ten Hag is
So
his
did you
name.
see what happened to the Netherlands? Their travel was disrupted
I did not.
to Dortmund. Apparently, they were, forced to abandon their plans to travel by train, according to the Dutch Football Association. Instead, they had to fly from their base in Wolfsburg, arriving at their hotel 4 hours later than planned.
Oof.
The train service was canceled due to a blockage on the route. And so their pre-match press conference with their coach was canceled. But they had not planned a training session at the stadium. They had already completed their preparations earlier on Tuesday. Teams are entitled to a training session at the venue on the eve of the match, but do not always take up the option.
Yeah, walk through or whatnot. It's not like they'll.
Gareth Southgate said he didn't expect it would affect the opponents.
I don't think it will either. They don't. I mean, they don't play till late tonight over there. I think it's like 9 p.m. local time. So I don't think it'll have a whole lot of impact.
Who's favored?
Let's take a look at that. It looks like England is a slight favorite, plus 160. Netherlands plus 210.
And if England, so where does Spain rank compared to England or the Netherlands? Would Spain be the favorites?
I think
both of them?
Spain would be a slight favorite over both those teams. I mean, Spain's hot right now. They're kind of the darling of the tournament. They got that young 16-year-old who had a phenomenal goal.
Isn't that the youngest player that scored a goal in the Euros?
Yeah, ever, yeah. Yarmel.
I wish Nate was here to tell me about soccer because I don't pay attention to it.
Lamine Yarmel, he plays for Barcelona. Yeah, youngest player ever. He turns 17. And
Do you think it frustrates Nate that I talk about it
soccer?
and I somewhat enjoy talking about it when he's not here, but then when he's here I shut down emotionally and physically? Because
you probably should take it personal.
I refuse to give him the satisfaction. I'm not going to do it.
That sounds personal.
Now, like when he gets
You
here,
give me satisfaction.
When he gets here, I'm gonna act like I have no idea who played last night, who's playing tonight.
Nor do
I'm
you
gonna
care.
I had no idea that kid was the youngest to score a goal in the Euros. I had no idea about the Netherlands team being delayed 4 hours. Like, oh, what? Oh, that's still going on? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all I'm going to do. If he
impressive.
brings him, I'm just going to say, duh.
Big dummy. Soccer's for
I
dummies.
thought it was over when the Americans were out.
It was
Was it?
for me.
I know you didn't like that, did you?
No, But no, it should be that game should be great. 2 p.m. today. England and the Netherlands.
Let's play. Oh boy. These comments are getting a lot of run around the sports world. Mike Gundy, who's never been shy in front of a microphone, head coach of Oklahoma State. How long has he been? Don't look it up. It's a question I'm going to ask you. See if you can guess it. How long has Mike Gundy been the head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys?
Oh boy. Well, when he was a man and he was 40. Now
he is a man. That's
now
right about that.
I think that was like, I want to say that was like 16 years ago or something. So I guess that's my guess. I would say 16 seasons. He doesn't read the newspapers because they're garbage. And that cut.
This is his 20th season. Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comment was like 16 years ago.
His first year was 2005.
Wow. It's got to be the longest tenure coach.
You're not going to see anymore.
No.
You know? Damn, that even surprised me. I thought it was going to be like 15,
I'm 40.
Yeah.
20 years.
It's wild. It doesn't seem like that long ago.
And so he's in the position
20
he,
years.
yeah, I know, right? He has been the head coach longer than I've been the primary host on the morning show at 810. Because when he was hired, I was still over at 97.3 The Planet. Before I had to come back over here at 810.
So his first season was 04 then? Is that
05.
05?
When did I come back here?
You were doing the show here.
Was I?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. That was.
There's a section of a few years that I
Yeah. That was your first year doing it, though.
cross off.
The fall of 04 into the spring of 05 is
When did I leave Whitlock's show?
You left Whitlock's show. That would have been
It was right around the time Phil was born.
03.
It was right around the time Phil was born.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I went into a meeting here in the conference room
No.
to discuss
03. When we got-
discuss going over to the planet.
Yep. It
And
would
he
have been
was
like
born-
February.
He was born in April of 03.
Yeah, it would have been like February of 03 you were putting the because I remember it because that's when WHB got the rights to the Royals and the planet was formed.
Okay.
And that was we had the first season we had the Royals was the season of 2003.
So I went over there in 03, and then when did I come back?
So Renshaw lasted till so he came in of April of 03. He took over from
Okay.
Whitlock left in 03. He came in because I was interning for Whitlock still.
That's when Philly Boy was born.
And
Okay.
then I interned into my internship. Last month of it was with Renshaw, and then I got hired by Renshaw and Chad, and Aaron was producing that show at the time. So May of 03 is when I got hired part time. I'd do weekends, and then I'd run the board for Renshaw, and then July of 03 is when I got hired full time. So I did that show. Renshaw, his last show. I remember it. It would have been in October of 04, October, November-ish, because the Chiefs had just played the Saints, I believe.
Okay.
Down in
Because the deal was hatched for me to come back in New Orleans.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember. I believe. I believe.
Yes.
Man.
Because that would make sense because it was before the week before they were playing New Orleans. I remember specifically we were playing.
I remember I was first asked about leaving 810 to go to the planet on a plane. I can't remember where the plane was going to.
You were going to New Orleans because of that week that. Oh boy.
Leaving. Was I going to New Orleans then too? No, I'm talking about when I was asked about leaving 810 to go to the planet.
Oh, okay.
I was on a plane when they asked me.
Did you go to New Orleans for that Chiefs game?
Yeah.
Okay. That's weird.
So was it both?
I mean, I know for 100% fact that the Chiefs were getting ready to play the Saints that week.
But it wouldn't have been both years. When I left A10 and came back too, would it have?
Well,
No.
maybe they were playing the Saints here. I don't know.
No,
I know they were definitely playing the Saints.
Yeah.
We can look that up.
I don't.
Anyways,
my point is,
fall of 04.
So you gotta understand something.
Fall
right?
of 04, bro.
I thought my radio career was over with the Planet. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
That's how bad it got. That's how bad it was for me.
It was weird because you were
For me.
over here like once.
Well, yeah.
Once a week.
I would listen. This is let me explain something to you people. All right, if you don't know, I was hosting the morning show on the FM side, but it was all under the same roof here.
Yeah, it's right next door.
Right in the next studio next to us
Like,
was our FM studio. We still call it the FM studio.
Right there on the other side of this wall here.
And so they and I had wanted to do FM. Okay, in my youth, one of my top, my radio influence was Howard Stern.
Yeah,
there you
still
go.
is, right.
Okay, I used to listen to Mancow a lot. I used to listen, just whatever, When I was a kid, I used to like to listen to Chuck Nasty. I wanted to be on the FM side.
Yeah, the
And
Nasty
so,
Man. He's still rocking and rolling.
I used to, and so that was an itch I needed to scratch. But then it turned into a rash that I needed to get rid of. And so I went over there.
Some hives.
And they brought me over there, and Whitlock was leaving, and Whitlock tried to get me to go with him. And I said no, because I got nothing to hide. Chad, I told him, I said, Chad gave me my first start in radio, and I'm going to be loyal. As long as they want me at Union Broadcasting, I'm staying here. And then, Whitlock didn't like that, but he understood. And so I stayed. But, and we had just put together this FM station, and I had an eye towards that. I thought, hey, you know what? I could really do some things and do some comedy that I want to do and kind of spread my wings. And so I go over there, and they pair me with Randy Miller. And I thought, wow, this is going to be cool. That's a legendary radio
I grew up listening
figure.
to Randy Miller.
We all did.
Yeah.
Legendary radio talent in Kansas City. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to get to do whatever I want. I'm going to be wild. I'm going to be out there. And the first show we did together, I did some wild, not wild now. You wouldn't consider wild now, but I let my humor come out. I had a couple of bits that I did. He takes me down the hall, and he need to talk to you. No, it's Randy.
Oh.
And it says, hey, that's not the kind of show I want to do. We're not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is not what I was told, And then just right off the bat.
He's like, you're too funny.
This ain't going to work. I don't know. He thought I was too edgy, which was crazy for him to say that.
Right.
Because that guy was more edgy than anybody at one time. But he had changed, and I don't want this. I don't want innuendo, and I don't want that. And, I'm like, why don't you clip my wings before I've even had a chance to fly? Whatever. And so immediately. And then I met my program director.
Inside joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it didn't mesh. That wasn't going to work. He was a nice enough guy, but it wasn't going to work. And then Randy was let go at one point, and they paired me with Doug Medlock. And Doug was a super awesome, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but a super awesome, cool guy. Really liked Doug. Got along with Doug very well. But still had the same program director. And it just, and it wasn't working. And so I would come here and do the show, right? Getting ready to do an FM morning show. And then sometimes you guys couldn't find Renshaw.
Sometimes, like once a week.
And I'm like, literally didn't know where he was or he didn't show up.
Yeah.
So then you would come down there just as I'm starting the FM show
Yep.
with no prep.
No. Hey.
We need you to come and host the morning show on 810.
We're gonna have to steal
when
Steven
next
from you
week?
guys.
No, right now.
Like in about 3 minutes. I can give you about 3 minutes.
Yeah, give 3 minutes to prep. I'm like,
I remember because I wouldn't play the intro. I'd play Kid Rock, Ba with the Ba for you.
and so it just so happened that I'm a big sports guy, and so I watched all the games anyway, and I knew what was going on with the Chiefs and the Royals, and so I was able to. The old joke was he could roll out of bed and host a morning show. Well, I did, and so that happened. It started to happen more frequently.
Yeah.
Where it was once a week, twice a week. So then it got to the point where I was prepping for 2 shows. I'm not kidding you. I would prep to host the morning show on 810, and I would prep to host the morning show on 97.3 because I would go to bed not knowing what morning show I was going to host the next day. And that went on for what? At least a month or so, a couple months.
Well, I mean, I would say that probably
know.
started happening in mid 04. Kind of.
It's long enough to where.
I mean, it was probably about 3 or 4 months where you would be on two to three times a month.
So I would
say
I would prep for both shows.
Yeah.
Until the point, I can't remember who I told. I said, I can't keep doing. Maybe Lebo.
Probably.
I said, I can't keep doing this.
Because what would happen is you'd get the call, you'd start the show, Lebo would get the call, Lebo would get ready, and he'd drive in here, and you guys would do like the because that time is only 3 hours.
Right. I can't keep prepping for both shows. So
you know, a long-winded way to tell you that Gundy started in 05.
Right.
And that's
I've enjoyed this detour though.
Oh, it's a great.
I'll be honest with you. I put those couple years out of my mind because, like, for me, I consider what I did on the FM side as a professional failure. Even though some people come up to me and say, "Hey, I really enjoyed you on the FM side." I said, "Did you?" I said, "You have no idea how good that makes me feel. That makes me feel so good because I just remember that as being a disaster and I wasn't good enough." But it was just the.
Oh, it wasn't a failure because it helped you.
Right. No.
But that's how you felt
that's a good
about
way,
it.
But I felt about it. I'm very hard on myself.
Sure.
Half the time I think this is a failure. 'Cause that's what my wife tells me. And so I don't, your show sucks.
It does.
And so then I came back here and I've been here ever since.
So I mean, it would have been like at the end of 04 you probably we started creating.
That was wild, dude.
But like I think we kicked it off at the beginning of 05 or the end of 04. Like
that's a blur to me.
Yeah. I have a really weird memory. It's really good, shockingly. I don't know how, but like I have like in years wise, I have ways I don't know how it works. My brothers are both shocked because of all people with the amount of brain cells that I killed over a 20-year period that
dude
I can still remember this stuff.
I can remember like songs and TV shows and actors and movies and weird pop culture information.
Oh, I mean,
I can't remember like years of my life. Like I can't remember like this we're talking about. I really don't remember much about this. Whether it's because I just locked that away or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember like oh my God, I forgot I was supposed to call this person yesterday at 2:00. I totally forgot. Or I can't remember what happened last week. Or where are my keys? But I'll tell you that Stephen Furst was in a movie called Midnight Madness in 1980.
There you go.
It had a wonderful theme song that I used to sing, and my dad used to get furious and yell at me until we went on a vacation to Los Angeles. And because one of the scenes in the part of the movie was filmed at the Bonaventure Hotel, and I begged him, could we please stay there? And I stood in the lobby like at 10 years old singing the theme to Midnight Madness. It's Midnight Madness, and it starts to get to you. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do. Over and over again until my dad was ready to... oh, God.
Is that it?
I think so. Let's see. It's an underrated comedy from my youth.
I don't know this movie.
I think Stephen Furst is also Flounder from Animal House.
Yeah.
You'd like it. He used to play on HBO repeatedly, so I liked it as a youngster. I'll remember something like that, but I won't remember something important. Yeah, there you go. So anyway,
Steven first as Harold.
All this, a unique way of telling you, and all this was happening while Mike Gundy was being hired.
Yeah.
My professional roller coaster. And so Mike Gundy yesterday had these two comments. Now, the big story, Ollie Gordon, right? The preseason Offensive Player of the Year running back. Preseason Offensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. He got in trouble a couple weeks ago. DUI, no good, right? And so here's Mike Gundy talking about, it'd be funny if he had the theme of Midnight Madness behind him. Ollie Gordon's BAC from his DUI. Here's Mike Gundy talking about that.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is .08, and Ollie was .1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. Wow. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
And so here's Gundy also talking about Ollie Gordon's punishment from his DUI.
We're in a time where you guys are essentially employees. You guys make lots of money to play this game. It's different than it was 5 years ago. And your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
It's not really a punishment to play more. I'm just throwing that out there.
We're going to give him more touches.
No, he said that's what he said. He didn't lie. He's doing what's best for Oklahoma State football. That's what he's doing. And I've heard people say, hey, we've all done that a few times in our lives. Probably shouldn't have been behind the wheel.
About a few thousand.
It's a little different when the coach says, I've probably done that 1,000 times. Like,
I probably have too, but no.
Well, coach, maybe
I quit drinking because of that, coach.
Why don't you say, hey, I've maybe done that a few times. Maybe he has done it 1,000 times. Right. That seems excessive to me.
Well,
we've all made that mistake when we've driven. Most of us have. When we've driven when we shouldn't have, and probably got lucky we didn't get stopped.
Right.
But I'd like to think it hasn't been 1,000 times.
Well,
that's a lot, isn't it? I mean, am I wrong?
No,
that seems a lot.
That's like 3 years of drinking and driving
times
every day.
I mean, I don't. Is he like? I don't know. There's a lot there.
Yeah, we can dive more into that.
I'm sure Lebo has plenty to say.
Absolutely, he does.
I just feel like nowadays with Uber and Lyft and everything else, you got options, man. You got options that prevent you from putting other people at risk.
Yeah, that's the conversation.
I think that's the most important thing. Don't put anyone else at risk.
By the way, Ollie Gordon's underage too.
Uber. So call Mike Gundy. Apparently he's a good wheelman. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. Welcome back to New Day. Let's check in with Mike Boddicker on the road. Where are you?
I am in Louisville, Kentucky.
What are you doing?
Hitting all the bourbon places.
Like hitting them, drinking at them? Like
Literally hitting them.
Well, we're going through tours and having some tasting and making some connections.
How long have you been down there?
We drove down yesterday. And
you drove?
Yeah, we drove.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
About 8 hours. Yeah, it wasn't. It was an easy trip, and we got to have a vehicle with us to haul the bourbon back we get.
So you're getting a bunch of bourbon for the raffle?
Yes, I am. We've already got 3 bottles, so. Yeah.
Who's all down there with you?
James and Corey.
The boys.
Boys trip, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In some trouble down there.
Could be. Yeah, we were. They have a thing. We're at the Hotel Distill, and they have a prohibition thing where they ring the bell at 7:33, and they pass out drinks for everybody in the hotel here to toast the end of prohibition.
They pass out drinks, and then you pass out in your room. Is that how it goes?
I did last night, man. I was
did.
out at 9:30, and I didn't wake up till 6:30 this morning.
Where are you going today?
We are going to Jim Beam Distilleries. We're going to Maker's Mark. We are going to Bardstown. We're going to a bunch of different places today and tomorrow. So, and then we'll hit Four Roses on the way out of town and be home sometime Friday.
I like that Maker's Mark, buddy.
Oh, I know. We're going to meet the head guy at Maker's Mark. So, yeah.
Give him my info. I don't know for what. Just give him my info.
I don't know if I have enough. I'm going to have enough room in the car to bring all this crap back. So
right.
I don't know.
What do you think about Bobby Wood Jr. being in the home run derby?
I love it. I love it. Just keep. They changed the rules a little bit this year, I guess. So hopefully it won't be so devastating on a hitter. Those were tough. The new rules, the rules they had in the past year, they were gassed by the time they were done. I was afraid somebody was going to get hurt.
I thought about you when he was asked about why his dad's not pitching to him in the home run derby, and he said after 16 years his arm's just hanging, getting ready to fall off, and so his dad.
No, my arm's fine, but
right?
it's the rest of me that sucks.
So you could pitch home run derby.
Oh, I could, yeah.
He's got his brother-in-law doing it.
Yeah. Even at 67, I think I could do a home run derby.
So you were kind of up in the air of whether or not Cole Reagans would make the All-Star game. He made it. What did you think?
Well, I think it's his strikeouts.
Yeah.
I mean, he punches out a lot of people. I think that was the thing. And I mean, when he is on, he is unhittable. But when his command is off a little bit, he's very hittable. So, yeah, it's kind of an up and down thing. Every time he goes out there, you think you got a chance. He might have one of those, 10, 13 strikeout games. So it's kind of fun. I'm excited about the second game today with Walker and Gray. I think that'll be a good game.
You think
kind of keep track of it. You
think Singer should be an All-Star?
I think he could have been, yes. Yeah, if I had to pick between him and Reagan, I'd have picked Singer, to be honest with you.
Well, Reagan's has more. They have the same wins, which shouldn't matter, but Reagan's has more strikeouts.
More strikeouts.
But Singer's got a better ERA. It's down to 2.93.
More consistent. He was more consistent, but I mean, they look at more flashy. I mean, they look at the strikeouts, so which is fine. I mean, Singer just does what he's been doing. In the next few years, he's going to be an all-star.
Royals have to take care of business in this doubleheader. Then they get another day off, and then 3 games at Boston. They're behind Boston for the wild card.
Yeah, that Colorado trip didn't help them any.
No, but they have to avoid disaster here. They gotta.
Yes.
I mean, look, I'd love for them to sweep, obviously, but at least get a split of this doubleheader and go take care of business in Boston, and have some good vibes going into the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they could split with the Cardinals. Cardinals are pretty hot though right now, so but we've got the pitching to curtail some of that. So I will be. I think we'll get at least a split.
What do you expect from Marsh today? He goes at 12:45.
Well, you just don't know. He can either be dynamite like he was against the Yankees, or again like he was against Oakland. So he's got to be a little bit more consistent. Give us a little bit of chance. Even the days he's not real good, he's got to give us a chance to win games. So.
That did help a little bit with the postponement last night.
Yes,
because
it did.
It was going to be Waka last night, and then Marsh tonight. Marsh against Gray, but so now they switched that, so now it's Waka against Gray.
Yeah, and I like that matchup. That's going to be a fun game to watch. And I don't think I'll be able to, but I'm going to kind of keep track of it on my phone. So
I bet you are.
Yeah, I will.
What condition will you be in by that point?
I'm the driver. I got to.
DD.
I got to stop. I can't be drinking, so
just don't have Mike Gundy driving you, because this guy, you never know.
I heard 1,000 times.
You know, he have 4 or 5 beers, drive 1,000 times. He doesn't know.
That's a few times too many, I think. Don't you think?
Seems like it, but
I think we've all done that once or twice. But 1,000.
Well, look, hey, I mean, it's probably been more than once or twice, but I feel real good about saying it hadn't been 1,000.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When we were younger, we were stupid and did some stupid things, but.
I know plenty of people that are older that are still stupid. So.
Yeah, that's true. I do too. That's not good. I'm not a big. I don't like the drinking and driving. Not just because of yourself, but you're endangering other people. It's just not good.
Too many options available nowadays.
Yes, there is. Yes, you can always get an Uber or a ride somewhere. So, yep.
What's going on in the background there?
They're playing this jazz music. I tried to find a place in this hotel where it wasn't playing. It's everywhere. It is just everywhere.
That's pretty good. I mean,
it's
early in the morning. It sounds
very
like
relaxing. Yeah, I'm
party
having
atmosphere.
a cup of coffee and relaxing. And I'm way in the back hallways by the ballrooms, the conference rooms, and it's still playing back here. So
when are you coming home?
Friday. Coming home Friday. I'll get there sometime. So I'm sure the boys will be sleeping after the Four Roses stop. So they both like the Four Roses. So we'll see.
Well, we wanted to check in with you, make sure you're all right there on the road.
Oh, everything's great, and I've been very good. I mean, the tour yesterday was right downtown here, so I could actually partake of a few of the tastings and just walk back to the hotel. So today and tomorrow is no drinking days until the evening. I can have a cocktail in the evening after we're done. So
you gonna go to a Louisville Slugger factory?
Right across the street from it, really. I mean, we were right down the street from the Louisville Slugger.
What about a tour of the home of Muhammad Ali?
That would be cool.
See?
That would be cool, yeah.
You should have me put together your itinerary.
They
have all
have
kinds of things.
They have the Muhammad Ali Center here, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really. I think this is really a neat little city. I really do. I like Louisville.
Well, it sounds like you really like it. So
I do.
You might like it a little bit too much.
Well, I might at the end. I might have to make another trip back. We'll see. Depends on what kind of connections we get here. So,
Mike Boddicker, we'll let you go on your search for more bourbon for your raffle to raise more money for Children's Mercy. All right.
You betcha.
You're down there doing the Lord's work. Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
That's Mike Boddicker. Checking in from the road. That's Mike Boddicker. We will take a break back after this on WHP.
In Cooling, locally owned, serving the Northland and all of KC. Remember, if you're looking for the top, reach for the summit. 816-832-7770 or summithckc.com.
This is New Day with SSJ.
All right, as I mentioned, Todd Lebo out in Las Vegas covering Big 12 Media Days. He'll be on with us live at 9:05. Let's play a chunk. You know that's not my nickname. But a chunk of Lebo chatting with K-State quarterback Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson tells Todd Lebo that his NIL is working pretty well right now.
Tell me what NIL is. After his quarterback, is your quarterback? How does it work? I didn't understand this work.
Taken care
and
of.
I've seen some places where I think I saw this at KU. Jalen Daniels went out and bought a bunch of headphones for everyone on the team. I mean, so I think there's a lot of guys doing things like that. Have you done things to help your teammates too?
Yeah, I feel like the smallest things I've done so far is maybe bring a teammate or two, or get we did a big deal with the offensive line, or maybe I'll bring a teammate along to something that I've been able to do. But I really want to do something like that. Was really cool what he did. I remember seeing C.J. Stroud. He got express gift cards for everybody on his team. A lot of people got deals with Beats.
Yeah.
Last year, a lot of players got to give their whole team Beats. I'm really looking forward to doing something like that. I feel like the closest thing that I've done to that, and I haven't even done it yet, is I'm really trying to get. You see Dylan Gabriel, my Coach Wells. He coached Dylan at OU, and he does this thing where he takes the skill players out and then takes the offensive line out. And they just kind of have a weekend getaway where they just go out and swim, have some fun, whatever it might be, play cornhole, and then they get a workout in the next day. I really want to do something like that where we can just go and just have some team bonding going on.
We're talking to Avery Johnson from K-State, his quarterback. Dylan Gabriel's an interesting example. He's played at 3 schools, all right? You are a K-State guy. That's what Coach Kleiman said. Do coaches call you? Do they reach out? Are they trying to get you in the portal? Have you gotten things like that yet? Because they're going to come coming for you, you know.
Yeah, personally, I haven't talked to any coaches. Like Coach Kleiman said, I'm a K-State guy first. This is the place I want to be, and this is where I want to get my degree from and graduate. And whenever I get my name called up on that stage, I want it to say Kansas State University next to it. First
of all, Todd Lebo trying to lure Avery Johnson into the transfer portal. We'll have to talk about that with him at 9:05. Lebo. Also, best thing I've seen a kid do with his NIL money. Aiden Shaw, Mizzou basketball player, Kansas City native, out of Blue Valley High School. He used some of his NIL earnings to establish 3 AS-23 scholarships, 2 for high school students in the Kansas City area, and 1 for a student at his alma mater, Blue Valley High School. Tough to get any better than that. Aiden Shaw, former guest on this show, and KC product. Thank you. We'll have more from Todd Lebo, Matt Derrick, Nate Bukaty. But up next, we'll talk to our baseball insider from ESPN, Buster Olney, right here on New Day with SSJ.